it is not about the stress part itself. It is thinking a lot about it. That having good food, which can be digested easily, very good sleep, 7 to 8 hours of sleep, right? Simple physical exercises, even if you can do 15 minutes of jogging, that can be of great help. And simple guided meditation, pranayam, that can be very helpful. So if you ever feel that you need professional help and the stress and anxiety is actually taking a toll on you, then we do have a student wellness center which is available free of cost, and we do have trained psychologists here who are there to support you. There are certain interests which you have followed throughout your life. It comes naturally to you. So why do you have to go against your natural instinct? So you feel a reward. So following your hobby is a reward mechanism. Make realistic expectations from you, even in your preparation. So for example, have a structured preparation, definitely do that. But it shouldn't be a very long plan. So make your daily plan, 2 day, 3 day plan, daily plan, and try to execute those plans that do not suffer from that stigma, and take professional help, right? Whenever you feel like that this is the time you need some professional support.
Hello and welcome to this special conversational series with Vision IAS faculty. Today we will talk about a very important topic of managing stress. And to discuss it, we have today an esteemed faculty of Vision IAS, Abhishek sir. Welcome sir.
Thanks a lot, Kapil.
Sir, before we talk about managing stress and other issues related to it, what are the factors that contribute to stress for people preparing for UPSC preparation?
There are many reasons which can lead to mental health issues and stress during UPSC examination preparation. The first is the nature of examination itself, given that it has a huge syllabus and the examination spans across many months. And for that, you have to prepare for at least a year of dedicated studies required. So you always feel that something is lacking in preparation. And that feeling can get compounded with course of time. Often we set unrealistic expectation from ourselves that how much we'll be able to achieve, and when those unrealistic expectations are not met, then that leads to again anxiety. And this further gets compounded with the fact that many of the students come from middle class background, and then you suffer from this invisible pressure. Even though maybe your family is totally supportive of you, but still you feel that invisible pressure that you have to do well in this examination, you have to do well for your family. And all of that can lead to a situation where you suffer from stress or anxiety during your preparation, which in the longer run is not very good for the preparation itself.
Sir, lot of students who undergo through this stress are not able to recognize this, that okay, what they are going through is actually stress, anxiety or other mental health issues. So what are some common signs that can help them identify this stress in their life?
Some signs can be, by the way, before I answer this question, I want to make it clear that I am not an expert in this topic. So my knowledge is based on a general awareness about mental health. And the reason I have done some study about mental health, but I'm not at all an expert in this topic. And the reason I have done this study because I felt like that this topic is a stigma. In general, Indian society has not been very much accepting of mental health issues. And the reason we are talking about this, that we also want to be part of the solution, where we want to remove that stigma and we want to openly talk about it. Right. So some of the signs can be subtle, some of the signs can be much more visible. So subtle signs can be, for example, that you have a very less attention span. So there can be some subtle signs, for example, suffering from anxiety, not being able to study for very long, right? This can be signs, having very less attention span. But it can also be some physical signs that, for example, you are suffering from sleeplessness, you are not able to sleep properly during night, right? Or some of the time it can often lead to some physical sign of weakness also, that you do not feel very well, right? So because our body is an integrated unit, the physical and mental are not separate from each other. So a lot of times mental health issues and stress, it can manifest physically also. The simplest sign can be sleeplessness, insomnia, or even the fact that there are some physical signs of weakness, not either you do not want to eat a lot, or sometimes in fact it can also lead to eating disorder. So there are so many different ways how doctors use it to diagnose mental health issues. And I will repeat this, that this depends upon, maybe an expert will be a better person to answer about it. So my information is based on whatever I have studied out of curiosity to know about more about mental health.
So once somebody has identified, some students have identified, कि, okay, I am going through mental stress. So what at their level they can inculcate in their life to address that issue?
I will further reiterate this point. Two things we need to do. The second thing I will in fact talk about this, that there will be a juncture where you'll need some professional support, and maybe we will talk about that later. But let's first talk about some of the things which should be done if you do think that you are not doing so well and you're suffering from anxiety, you're suffering from a lot of stress. And very simple things can be actually quite effective. For example, taking care of your physical health. That is very important. That you eat good food, you're taking care of your digestive system, for example. You are sleeping well. So sleeping 7 to 8 hours, that is it can do wonders to overall your health, including mental health. That is the first thing. Engaging yourself into activity, that is very important. One of the best videos I have watched on stress and anxiety is a professor explaining to students that think about a glass of water, and you keep that glass of water on your hand, and you do not feel a lot of stress for a few minutes. But it is not about the weight of the water. If you keep that weight for very, very long, right? So for example, the same glass of water and you are asked to do the same thing for 8 hours, then clearly you are going to suffer from and you will simply throw it away. So the point he was trying to make here is that it is not about the stress part itself. It is thinking a lot about it. So, and how to then take care of that, because saying this is easy, that don't think about mental health or don't think about stress. Saying this is easy, doing this is difficult. But there are certain things which can be done, that you engage yourself into various activity. You go and do some physical exercise. You talk to your peer group. You talk to your parents. You talk to your support system. And all of that again can be a great booster. There are many technological solutions also which can be adopted. Simple meditative guided meditation can be of great help. I have talked about this in previous videos also, that one of the favorite app I use, for example, is Atom. Simple. There is an app called Atom, and Atom has this guided meditation where you only meditate for like 4 to 5 minutes. I was recently watching a video, an interview of Djokovic, like one of the greatest player of tennis. And Djokovic was talking about mental health, and he was talking about that how you have to focus on our breathing. And I was thinking that Djokovic has discovered pranayam. So think about it, that just by focusing on your breathing pattern, the pranayam, simple basic pranayam, that can do again wonders to your mental health disorder. So there are a lot of things. I will quickly summarize that: having good food which can be digested easily, very good sleep, 7 to 8 hours of sleep, right? Simple physical exercises, even if you can do 15 minutes of jogging, that can be of great help. And simple guided meditation, pranayam, that can be very helpful. So these are some of the things which you can do by yourself, and there is a very good chance that you'll see recovery.
So as you mentioned earlier, that if you cannot cope yourself about your stress, then there is need for professional help. And Vision is now also trying to professionally help student coping with the stress while preparing for UPSC. So can you throw some light about what we are doing?
Yeah, we can. So as I said earlier, that there will be a time that you need professional help, and you need to you do not need to fill any type of stigma because of that. That should be clear, that we have to openly talk about it. You are not able to manage stress, you're not able to take care of your mental health, and then you need some expert guide. And VISIONIAS, for example, since April this year, we have a student wellness center, and that student wellness center includes many psychologists, trained psychologists, expert in this particular domain. And since April, we have been supporting students, and initially it was limited to our students, but now it is available to all the students and completely free of cost. So if you ever feel that you need professional help and the stress and anxiety is actually taking a toll on you, then we do have a student wellness center which is available free of cost, and we do have trained psychologists here who are there to support you. So that actually is a great initiative of Vision IAS.
So, one another aspect of this preparation and one myth associated with it is social isolation. Lot of student thinks that you have to socially isolate yourself for preparation. So, what is the importance of social interaction for this preparation in general and managing stress in particular?
As you rightly pointed out, that it is a myth, and to I can use this example of a very simple fact that we have evolved as a social being. Right? Even when we are hunter gatherers, I'm talking about Homo sapiens. Even when we were hunter gatherers, we lived in a small group of people. And of course, when we started settling into civilization earlier into villages and towns, so we have evolved through this social interconnection, and that has allowed human beings to achieve what we have been able to achieve. It is our evolutionary instinct that we need to socialize, right? And this is very important for our growth, intellectual growth. This is very important for our overall health. So this myth around UPSC preparation that you have to socially isolate yourself, I will refine this. Maybe you need to cut off those connections which is taking a toll on your preparation. So, for example, let's say that in your circle there is somebody who does not study a lot and all the time they have to watch movies, and there is very less focus on study. And you feel that invisible pressure that the moment you are with them, then the more focus is on doing something else rather than study. Okay, that makes sense that maybe you need to cut down a little bit on that. But saying that you have to completely socially isolate yourself is not at all true. So social interaction is very, very important for our overall growth and including our UPSC preparation. And think about it, how it can in fact help in preparation. Finding like-minded people, maybe people who have the same optional, right? Or maybe people who complement your knowledge. You are good at polity, somebody is good at economy, and maybe you can collaborate together in your studies, right? So social interaction is important for preparation, and it is even more important for overall your growth and particularly your mental health. So I totally agree with you that there is a myth that we need to socially isolate ourselves during UPSC preparation.
So, another aspect that goes away as you enter this preparation is your hobbies and extracurricular activities. So, how important are hobbies and engaging yourself in extracurricular activity for managing stress?
So to answer that, I will connect this with an earlier point I made, that it is not about the weight of the glass, it is about for how long that glass is in your hand. So now we know more and more about that how mental health issues particularly can exacerbate a lot if you think a lot about them, right? And the nature of this examination here is that often it feels like that you have to leave everything aside and you only have to focus on studies. Again, this is also something which you do not have to do. That you clearly, through your school days, through your college days, you clearly had a lot of interests, you follow a lot of hobbies. And those interests and those hobbies can be as simple as, for example, there are certain type of music you want to listen to, there are certain type of movies you want to go and watch, there is a sports you either watch or you play, right? You read books. So following those hobbies is very important because that keeps you engaged, and there are certain interests which you have followed throughout your life. It comes naturally to you. So why do you have to go against your natural instinct? So you feel a reward. So following your hobby is a reward mechanism, and that reward mechanism plays again a very important role that lot of mental health issues can be tackled. So again, do not think that whatever hobbies you have learned, you have to completely shut them down. You should pursue that.
Before we end this session, any final word of wisdom for students that can help them manage their stress while preparing?
Do few things. I have talked about these things in previous sessions also, that make realistic expectations from you even in your preparation. So for example, have a structured preparation, definitely do that, but it shouldn't be a very long plan. So make your daily plan, 2-day, 3-day plan, daily plan, and try to execute those plans. And again, because in one day, what you can achieve in one day, that you can easily estimate, that you can easily achieve, right? And you will realize that if you keep doing that for long, then automatically your preparation is falling into place. So you can prepare in a structured manner without suffering from the anxiety and invisible pressure which many aspirants go through. That is the first thing. Second thing, that what I said earlier, very basic things. Do not let your sleep disturb. And very simple thing, there are so many apps which locks your phone. So another problem is that a lot of times we are suffering from attention deficit. So try to remove phone for some time. There are apps here which locks your phone for, let's say, 1 hour, 2 hour, and use that so that you are engaging productively on other things rather than looking at your mobile phone, social media, reels all the time. So that is the second thing which can be done. Third thing, uh, I already have talked about sleep pattern. Third thing, you can focus upon your diet. You can focus upon very basic exercises like even jogging. And last but not the least, you can focus upon some very simple breathing exercises that can be of great help. And lastly, I will end that if you do need that, despite all of that, you do need professional support, then don't hesitate in asking for it. This is very, very important. That do not suffer from that stigma and take professional help, right? Whenever you feel like that this is the time you need some professional support.
Thank you so much, sir, for guiding our aspirants. So, aspirants, I hope now you have an idea how to deal with the stress while preparing for UPSC exam. And if you need professional help managing your stress, do contact us. Thank you.